Before we begin, I'm going to give you a brief overview of these mods just so you're familiar with them. Once again, this is not a full spotlight, but a very basic overline of the mods. Let's start with Eve. Eve is Energy Visuals Enhanced. It is an absolutely essential mod that totally overhauls the way energy weapons work, giving you really cool new animations with them, adding new effects to the guns, and basically making energy weapons look fantastic. I'm going to roll some screenshots from the mods page here, but they don't even really do it some justice. You really need to see this mod in action in all of its awesomeness. The second mod that I'm going to show you is RH Ironsights, and this mod is very simple. If you've ever played New Vegas, you'll know there's Ironsights in that game, and this mod adds Ironsights to Fallout 3 so that almost all of your guns will have you looking down the iron sight instead of doing that weird hipfire thing that's done normally. This also is compatible with Energy Visual Enhanced, which is awesome. The next mod we're going to be installing is Weapon Mod Kits, and this mod adds a bunch of weapon modification kits to the game that allow you to add scopes, laser sights, and various other modifications to your guns. There is a couple of tiny little problems when using this mod with RH Ironsights, but for the most part you're not going to notice them. I think there was one or two guns that when you modded them, the iron sight didn't perfectly line up, but other than that, this mod is pretty much something that I would highly recommend, especially since it allows you to put laser sights for hip firing and give you extra ammunition and even get some really cool, crazy miniguns going. This is an awesome mod. To begin with, we're going to download RH Ironsights, so head over to the link in the description and go to the file section of this mod. From here, we got a couple things we need to download. First of all, let's download the main file and the update. You'll need to download these with Manager. It's going to tell you require archive and validation invalidated. Don't worry about that, you have archive and validation through Mod Organizer, so you'll be fine. After that, scroll down to the optional files, and what we're going to need to do is to go ahead and download the following files: the RH Ironsights FWE bridge, the RH Ironsights Eve bridge, and the RH Ironsights WMK bridge, because we're going to be downloading all of these mods in today's episode. RH Ironsights is a mod that is supported by the Paradox Ignition's The Mergers file, so head over to that page and head over to the files section of the Paradox Ignition's The Mergers, scroll down until you find RH Ironsights merged, and click Download with Manager. Alright, now it's time to install the mods. Let's start with the main file. Go to your Downloads tab and double click on the file, hit Manual, and then set your data directory, as we've done in the past. After that, everything will look good here, so just click OK and allow the mod to install. After that, we're going to go ahead and install the update to RH Ironsights, which can be found right here. You're going to install that manually, set the data directory, click OK. If it asks you if you'd like to merge, click Merge. Alright, the next thing we're going to do is install the compatibility patches. So let's start with the Eve bridge. Now keep in mind we haven't installed Eve yet, so if you try and launch your game immediately after this, it's going to crash because you don't have the mod installed. However, by the end of the video, we'll have everything installed, so don't worry about it too much. Keep in mind in all of these I have to hit Manual, set the data directory properly, and then click the Merge button since we're going to be merging this into the main file. Okay, now that we've installed all of those patches, we're going to need to go ahead and get the Paradox Ignition The Mergers plugin set up for RH Ironsights. So what you're going to need to do is open up your Paradox Ignition The Mergers page, and then open up your mod in Mod Organizer by going to the main mod panel and double clicking on the mod as you see me do here, then going to the optional ESPs tab. From here you're going to select the ESP that are said to be replacing and click the up arrow to move them into the optional section, as you can see me doing on screen now. Next up, let's install the Paradox Ignition The Mergers plugin. Now you're going to want to make sure that this has the same name as the file you just installed. The easiest way to do this is select the mod, hit F2, hit Control C, go back to the installer, backspace everything, hit Control V to paste, and then install the mod as per normal. Now make sure you don't do what I just did and hit the OK button. Always hit Manual, make sure everything is okay before processing your mod. Either way though, we're done now, so let's move on to the next mod. The next mod that we're going to install is Eve, or Energy Visuals Enhanced. This mod is actually much simpler to install than it was previously thanks to the Paradox Ignition's The Merger file being brought over to the main page. Head over to the download section of this mod and download Eve099, which already contains the Paradox merged file baked into the main mod. From here, it's just a simple matter of waiting for the download to finish and then installing the mod. Once Eve has been downloaded, it's just a matter of activating the mod. Go ahead and click manual after double clicking on the mod in the downloads tab and clicking OK. Then just wait for the mod to install and activate it. Now it's time to move on to the next mod, Weapon Mod Kits. So head over to the link in the description and go to the files section of this mod. From here, we got a little bit of downloading to do. Download the main file with your mod manager, then scroll down to the optional file section. There is a patch for each of the downloadable contents, so you're going to need to go ahead and download all of these patches with your manager. It's a little bit annoying that they're all spread out like this, but it's not that much of an inconvenience. So just begin with Broken Steel and download a bit of patch for every piece of DLC. While those files are downloading, we're going to go ahead and download another mod that's going to help a little bit with some compatibility. We're going to download the ammunition schematics for FWE-WMK-CRAFT-Full caliber. This is basically a mod that adds a bunch of ammunition schematics to the crafting in FWE. Go along to the download section of this mod and download the main file with Manager. That's pretty much all there is to this. This is a pretty simple mod to install. While we're downloading a bunch of other mods, we might as well go ahead and download the blackened compatibility patches for today's episode. Now keep in mind that if you followed the last episode, you're going to need to uninstall the blackened patch that we downloaded there, and if you're watching this all in a series on YouTube, you may want to hold off on the compatibility patches till the very end. Today we're going to go ahead and download two patches. The first patch we're going to download is near the bottom, and it is the blackened RH Ironsights FWE and Eve compatibility patch. Go ahead and download this to get Ironsights on a bunch of your weapons. Alright, now for the next patch, it depends on how you're watching this video. If you intend to install Project Beauty, which occurs in the next episode that's going to make all the faces in the game look better, download the Project Beauty patch and then wait to install it after next episode. However, if you're just following this video right now and you want to get going right away with your game, download the blackened FWE-MMM patch with your manager. If you installed the blackened patch in the episode we did last week on Mart's Mutant Mod and FWE, you're going to need to uninstall it by going to the main tab, finding the blackened patch, right-clicking and selecting Remove Mod to uninstall that blackened patch so we can pave the way to install the ones that we just downloaded today. Okay, now that we've uninstalled that patch, we can go ahead and install Weapon Mod Kits. So double-click on it in the Downloads tab, hit Manual as always, and then click OK. Once that mod is installed, you're going to need to install all of the different compatibility patches. So get to work doing that, making sure to hit Manual and Merge whenever you are prompted. It's a pretty simple process and you should understand it by now, so I'm just going to cut ahead to when we're done with it. Once all of the Weapon Mod Kits files have been installed, you can install the Ammunition Schematics mod with the exact same method we did before by double clicking. I personally like to change the name of this file so it's not so long. Okay, now that we've done that, just click the manual button, make sure everything's okay, and click OK, and the mod will be installed. Alright, with almost all the mods we have today installed, go ahead and activate the blackened patches. Doesn't really matter what order you install them in, just make sure to hit manual and set the data directory properly, as they are not fully optimized for Mod Organizer. You're going to have to do this for the second patch as well, and you'll click merge when prompted. And that's all there was to it. The mods are now installed. You're going to need to go ahead and run loot. Again, if you're not familiar with what loot is, it's a load order optimization tool. You can find more about it and how to get it running with Mod Organizer by checking out my video, which will be linked in the description of this video. So don't worry about that. I'm going to be covering all the tools in a later episode. It'll be linked down below. Thank you very much for watching the video. If you enjoyed, please consider subscribing and checking out some of my other work, including my KOTOR mod showcases. And I also want to apologize for the slightly less than usually good audio. That was a really awkward way to say that. I'm sorry for the audio being a little bit weird. We had some stuff going on in the background, and there was no other way to record this episode other than doing that. I've applied a couple of noise canceling filters to the majority of this video, and I hope that helps. There might be a little bit of static, and I apologize for that. Anyway, that's enough for me. Stay tuned for the next episode when we cover how to make the faces in this game not look like potatoes. I have been Xuul, and I hope you have an excellent day.